Today we are going to study about dictatorship. Dictatorship that was happened after First World War, and it was also one of the main reason for Second World War. See what is. Let us see what is dictatorship. Dictatorship is completely against democratic form of government, and it is based on totalitarianism. So, it is a totalitarian dictatorship where state control is more powerful and less individual freedom, and it is closely related with fascist ideologies, and also absolute power is there in the hands of rulers, and state control is more, whereas individuals had lesser freedom, and individuals always should obey the state government or the national government. So, that is the policy of totalitarian form of government, and that is based on fascist ideologies, and that sorts of rule or power exercised by the rulers who had great belief in dictatorship and absolute power are known as dictators. So, there was dictatorship in the modern period after Second World War in Italy, Germany, Turkey, Spain, Portugal, Japan, Russia, etc. So, let us see the main aspect, especially in Nazism, Germany. We can go in detail about this. Before that, I just want to say what is totalitarianism and also the features of modern dictatorship. Here you can see totalitarianism is a system which is it's based on centralized government, centralized control, and they control economy, polity, social life, etc. And people are subjected to state authority. People should always obey the government, and there is no individual freedom or freedom of privacy, and there was a strong military government also existed in every totalitarian government. Before dealing with Nazism, let me discuss about the features of features and causes, that is interrelated features and causes of dictatorship. See, 20th century witnessed dictatorship soon after First World War, from 1919 to 1913, and we can say interwar period. So, that is the period between wars, between First World War and Second World War. At that time there arose dictatorship in Italy, Germany, Spain, Portugal, Japan, Soviet Russia and other countries. And modern dictatorship, one of the main feature is it is against democracy. Its reaction is against democracy, and democracy was declining at that time, and older democracies were also shaken in many countries, and there was no freedom to the people, and democratic ideas were crushed or suppressed by the dictators. And the causes, one more thing is it was based on fascist ideology. Dictatorship, another feature is it is based on fascist ideology. So, here fascism, it was arose after First World War, and the word fascism is derived from the Latin word fascio, Fascio. Fascio means bundle of sticks. So, however, the word fascism was used in Italy, but it spread to Germany, and where it is first known as totalitarianism, then it became Nazism on the basis of its party, and it spread to several other countries. So, development of fascism as a movement was against all liberal values, all enlightened values and ideas, and it was against modernity, and it was against all sorts of nationalist democratic ideas. And modern dictatorship arose because of arrogance of victorious powers. After First World War, Germany and its group were defeated, and Britain, France, Russia, America became victorious, and victorious powers like Britain and France were arrogant, and they dictated, or they put forward many provisions through the Treaty of Versailles, and it was very uh, insulting and humiliating treaty to the defeated countries, especially to Germany. So that is one of the reason. Then principle of self-determination, that was denied to all countries. Then another cause of modern dictatorship is failure of democracies. Democratic countries or democratic tendencies were collapsed, and democratic constitutions were also not in a position to work, and there were several problems for democratic countries. Even in Germany, the Weimar Constitution, it was prepared during unification of Germany, and also unification of Italy. There were separate constitutional facilities, but they were all ignored, and people lost faith in democracy, and there was inflation, poverty, unemployment, hunger, and depression during and after First World War, and gradually people lost faith in democracy. In this situation, dictators like Hitler, Mussolini were all, they were able to give a promise, assurance to the people that they will bring back the glory of nation, and also they will able to avoid or they will able to eradicate poverty, unemployment, and such economic issues, and also they will cut down the prices of commodities. So that was all the assurances given by dictators like Hitler and Mussolini. And in Russia also there was Tsarist Russia that was overthrown in 1917, and Lenin, after that Joseph Stalin became the dictator, and they were all enjoyed absolute powers. So in the same way in Japan also there was dictatorship of Tojo. Then in China also it was there was dictatorship tendencies. In Spain, Portugal also there existed dictatorship. So there was spread of dictatorship, we can see like an epidemic. Then the rise of capable leaders like Hitler and Mussolini, that is also one of the reason. In a short span of time, due to their military ability and also due to their statesman's skills, administrative power, leaders like Hitler, Mussolini, Stalin, Tojo became great dictators. And democracy was on the verge of collapse, and there was no savior for democracy. People disowned democracy, and the people were forced to welcome dictatorship. Then another reason is helplessness of League of Nations. League of Nations was not able to prevent Second World War, and there was war situations existed, even First World War. So there was all circumstances was favorable for dictatorship. If you say the features of modern democracy, I already mentioned it was against democracy, and it was based on features of democracy are, one is it's against democracy, it's against all sorts of democracy, freedom, liberal ideas. Another feature is it's based on totalitarianism. Totalitarianism means state control is there, and individual has to obey state rules. Another important feature of dictatorship is authoritarianism of one man or a minority group. Authoritarianism or absolute power enjoyed by supreme authority was enjoyed by one person or one dictators. So here fascism in Italy, Nazism in Germany, likewise it went on. Then one party rule, ruthless one party rule, that was another peculiarity of dictatorship. Then there was no rights given to people. People never enjoyed democratic rights. So they were not, especially in dictatorship government, people do not have political, social, economic rights. They were not allowed to express their opinion, they were not allowed to criticize. So there was totalitarian control, and also cruel suppression at home and aggression abroad, that is another feature. And there was wide difference between dictator and the people. So these are the features of dictatorship. So we discussed about features of dictatorship, then causes of dictatorship. Now let us see what is Nazism. See, Nazism, it was originated in 1919. Adolf Hitler, a German corporal of Austrian birth, had joined the German Workers' Party. It was very small at that time, and which had been founded in January in Munich. Then he became the leader of, he was inspired by the ideologies of Nazi party. Then he became the party's leading figure within one year, and he changed the name or modified the name of Nazi party as National Socialist German Workers Party, and in shortly it was called as Nazi Party. Let us see the causes. The important causes: after First World War, Europe faced severe economic problems, inflation, price rise, and also unemployment, poverty, worldwide depression, weakening of democratic countries, democratic governments. So there was mainly economic related problems. People were facing severe misery. At that time, democratic government was not able to promise anything. At that time, dictators, the people who believed in fascist ideologies, they gave a promise. So people had faith in fascist. Then symbol of Nazism, its symbol is swastika. So it's also known as Haken cross in Germany. It's swastika which was used as a symbol. So swastika flag was used in 20th century German Nazi party. And Hitler himself believed that he was the descendant of Aryan race of Central Asia. So hence his main motive was growth of Aryanism. So that superior race theory is one of the important feature. Then another features of Nazism, that is constant use of patriotic mottos, slogans, symbols, songs, etc. to arouse national consciousness among the people. Then flags were used widely. There was patriotic tendencies everywhere, and people are divided on the basis of racial, ethnic, religious minority, liberals, communists, etc. Then totalitarianism, it demands absolute obedience to the state and to an authoritarian leader. So government control all aspects of society. One party dictatorship, people denied individual rights, anti-democratic, racist and anti-Semitic. Then Nazism features, Nazism organized violence, or it used violence to suppress opposition, to suppress any type of criticism, to suppress other parties. Nazism used violence. Then there was military. They had strong military army and all. So it was based on military government, and there was expansionist foreign policy. They tried to expand their territories. Then they tried to preserve capitalism. So there was large corporations, state control of large companies, etc. Then there were upper and upper middle class and industrialists were the main supporters of Nazism, not the common people. Then the enemies of Nazism were labor unions, workers unions, socialist, communist, were all considered as enemies by Hitler. So it became National Socialist German Workers Party, but it is not able to support the workers, but it tried to pacify upper and upper middle class. So Nazi party became a form of government. It contested in elections, and it also believed in extreme nationalism and militarism. and had a great faith in one leader, so that is Hitler. So, fascist leaders in countries like Germany, Italy promised to revive the economy, and they assured that they would rebuild the military and restore national pride and